Like when they stab people, it's like, okay, I know you stab a normal person, it doesn't go right through them like that.
Or come out as easy.
Yeah, well, they are decomposed
How do you know that?
because I stab people.
All I know is that when Steve Jobs was around, my phone was amazing. Everything was great about it.
I would say I would agree with that.
After he
it was
died,
a lot better.
Like, it just I don't know if Tim Cook is the right.
Yeah.
He wasn't the visionary. Steve was.
Is incest illegal?
Yeah.
It is, right? Mm-hmm. It's not just like that's weird and gross.
I don't think
it's
it
illegal.
Should it be illegal or I think it shouldn't be illegal.
Are we rollers?
Or rollers.
We still never figured out. We never figured out a way to start it. We know we have the breathing thing to end it. Oh, we gotta clap, but that's just like for camera.
Everybody, put your hands together.
Put your hands together.
In audio, you know what we call it in recording? We call it the church clap.
Oh, I was going to say, can we guess?
Really?
Oh.
Is it the church clap?
Good guess.
Thanks,
Hey,
man.
so there's this thing in audio.
Anyway, we had a lot of technical difficulties. This is our third time trying to start this podcast, and it looks like it's finally working, right? Everything good? We good?
I hope so.
We don't have an intro, so we're just going to clap. That's what we've been doing for audio's sake. No, just once for your camera. to sync the audio and stuff.
I think you should start doing. You should say something like, "My name is Ryan. Welcome to the Off the Pill podcast. Today we have David Choi."
Why don't you just do it? You just did it just now.
Did it. That was
Okay.
great.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay.
Welcome to Off the Pill podcast. Today we have Mr. Ryan Higa.
Are you trying to end the podcast by breathing right now into the mic?
It's audience.
David Choi, special guest.
He's booing himself.
My audience.
Someone introduce me.
It's my
Oh, and then Will.
So, yeah.
No sounds whatsoever for you.
Will Nye, the science guy.
Yeah, I mean,
We got new chairs.
you know what we should do? We did get new chairs. See, this podcast is just coming together, dude.
just coming together.
Isn't this better than the other room, though? Realistically, it's better than the other room
I think so.
because it's bigger.
Yep.
The other one, I felt like I was stuck in a corner.
Bigger is better, as they say.
Why do you always get these random like? Hey, the other day, David and I, we were talking about how sayings come to. I don't know. I guess society and become like a real thing.
Yeah.
And we were trying to make up a new one. We're trying. What were the ones we were saying?
I don't even remember.
We made up some ridiculous ones. Like, what are some sayings that are like? That's the thing that I always want to look up, but I can never find a right answer.
You got to catch your fish in the water.
Wait, did you make that up or is that
Just
one?
made that up right now.
You got to catch your fish in the water. Yeah, I mean that. I guess.
I was watching an old Western movie,
Uh-huh.
and one of the guys was saying they were like old cowboy robbers, and they were like, "Nah, man, that was back when we were young and we were full of beans."
Oh
So
my
that's right.
gosh.
I like that one.
That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Like, man, that guy's
full of beans.
Like if you were watching NBA and you did like a slam.
What does that
dunk,
mean though?
I don't know,
Like
man.
gassy,
Dude, that fool
or just energy?
is full of beans.
Like his beans are goofy, Like
Maybe energy. Yeah,
I don't
like-
know.
yeah,
Or maybe he was Filipino. Filipino.
Philippines,
Filipinos.
Filipinos,
Is that offensive? Oh well.
Filipinos.
Yo, we're young and full of beans.
Dude,
Well,
we're so full of beans.
But our Filipino friends are the ones who made that up.
It might be, but
Greg.
just because you're Filipino does not mean that you're full of beans.
I always thought
full of beans.
full-
though.
like if you said, "Man, that person's full of beans," that they were like not telling the truth.
Oh yeah, that
Like
makes
that
way more
person's
sense.
full of beans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the way they said it, they were describing it like a compliment. Like, man, that was back when we were young and full of beans.
Beans. Oh, like energy.
I guess
Like
maybe.
the beans are a
See, this is the kind of
form
stuff-
of energy
I know.
that helps.
Maybe that's
us.
what they used to eat
Yeah.
back in
Yeah.
the West.
And so
Westerns.
sometime in society, it changed from full of energy to full of poop. Like
You're so full of poop.
And before that, it was full of beans.
Yep.
What was it before
That
that?
isn't. That sounds like a full of anything.
Yo, you're
sounds like
full
a
of
negative.
rice.
Yeah.
Dude, you're so full of it.
Dude, you're full of beer.
But maybe back then when they would use that term, you're full of blank.
It.
Maybe it was a great thing.
Like a compliment.
You're full of happiness. Is that bad?
What?
Full of happiness.
Now I'm like, questioning.
No, it's a bad thing. When I say to you, if I were to say to you, like, you guys are full of
it.
You're full of it.
You're full of
it.
joy.
That's a bad thing. That means
Yeah.
you're a bullshitter.
Yeah.
What if you're full of joy?
You're still full of it, dude.
I would want to be filled with joy.
David, you're just full of it, bro. You're full of it.
But what's it though?
It doesn't matter what it is. It just means you're full of it. Like you're a liar.
I'm full of water.
Well, there was one. What is the one that comes from like? God, it sucks when I can't remember references. But it comes from. See if you can figure out what the saying is. But it comes from the top of the when you make milk. Oh, the cream of the crop. That comes from when they make milk or something like that. And the top of the milk was known as the
best
cream,
part.
I guess.
The crop.
Yeah, so that's where that I had to look it. I looked it up because we were asking like where does that even come from?
Cream of the
I'm pretty sure that's correct. I might be
Sounds right.
wrong.
I think you're right.
I think I googled it.
And then what is the crop though? Is it milk? It is milk, right?
I thought so. Yeah.
So maybe in the milk, when it separates, the top is the cream, and that's the most valuable. Maybe.
It's kind of like
It's something
beer.
like that.
You know, like the foam. Like when you need
Nobody
like
likes
a
the foam.
perfect pour has the right amount of foam.
The
And
head.
it's just enough to just like make that beer experience just amazing.
New saying,
You know.
David.
Dude.
What did what?
You're the foam of the beer.
Woo!
Damn, that does sound.
Yeah.
Dude, that's like. Oh, you got a new. You got that version of the car, dude. That's the foam of the beer, dude.
That could be a good or a bad thing though.
But
If
Why?
there's too much foam,
Yeah.
it's not good.
Damn, this is getting deep.
But
Yeah.
when there's right enough, oh my god.
you're the right enough foam of the beer.
That's more
That sounds
accurate.
so whack.
That's the perfect amount of foam on the beer. You're the perfect amount of foam on the beer. That's like a pickup line.
Hey, thanks.
Well, you're gonna go to a girl and say, "Hey, you know what? You just have the perfect amount of foam with the beer." That does not sound good.
If I was a girl, I would hear
kinda
that
like-
and be like,
What?
"Can I
That's
give you my number?"
I kind of like
No
it.
way.
I like it.
You know what is a fun game that we were playing the other night? I was like, man, we should have did this on the podcast.
What's that?
Is when you were asking, we were doing like the would you rather, but it was a little R-rated.
Yeah.
So if we were to tone that down a little bit.
Okay.
All right. Everybody think of a would you rather, and
Will has really good
all right,
options.
Will can
normally.
start. You go next, and I'll go last.
Why do you get to go last?
I got to think about
Would
it.
you rather go first or second?
I'll go first. I'll go second. Whatever you want.
Go ahead.
This is a completely random one. Zombie apocalypse. Would you rather have
You always go there.
a spear, right? Like a long spear, sharp,
Yep.
durable, or a fire axe, like a,
What's a fire axe?
like the ones that you see.
Oh, like a fireman's axe.
a fireman's axe, yeah.
Ooh.
Uh,
I you know what? I've held both
Okay.
in my
You
lifetime.
held a spear
So
and
you
a
have-
fire axe.
I have held both.
Okay.
And
Experience.
referencing the laziness of the people in Wall-E and me wanting to be one of those people, I would choose a spear because it's a little lighter.
Honestly, it's smart.
I would also pick a spear, but it's because of the distance. Because they can only harm you from touching you.
It's true.
So if you have a spear, I would like in Walking Dead. I think it's easier to pierce them.
Yeah.
They make it look like they're made of butter in Walking Dead. Like when they stab people, it's like, okay, I know you stab a normal person, it doesn't go right through them like that.
do you
Or
know that?
come out as easy.
Yeah.
do you
Well,
know
they
that?
are decomposed
How do you know that?
because I stab people.
I stab people.
Yeah, I would use a
and
spear.
spear. Okay.
How about you?
Axe,
Really?
because I could chop wood with it.
That is also true. Zombie apocalypse.
Multi-use.
We didn't think about that. But you know what you can't do? Go spear fishing.
Oh, I changed my mind. Spearfishing.
Nope, too late. You have an axe.
Oh.
And you have axe body spray.
Ew, get away, zombie.
What if though that was the secret? We should write a zombie. Oh wait, zombies are out, dude.
Dude, zombies are
Walking Dead just
out.
ended, and I stopped watching a long time ago.
Yeah.
Didn't it feel like it was like one of my favorite shows. We used to all watch it together when it came out, and then I felt like they just kept like every episode was like, okay, this whole season could have happened in one episode.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like.
I've only seen a few episodes, so I don't know. It's kind of.
No,
It was good. It was good.
We should talk
I
about
got
with
it.
you then.
You know what? It reminded me of Gilligan's Island. Remember that show?
I don't. I know people.
Where there's
who
like a
did.
group of people.
They were stuck on an island. and
How
they just
bad
had
would
to
it be
survive.
if you guys continue this? Because I really have to pee. That's why I keep moving.
I got a pee too.
Should we take a quick beep
break?
beep?
PB.
Give it a quick beep beep.
A PB. Pee break.
A pee pee.
Pee break.
All right. Pee break.
I really have to pee bad.
Be right back.
Sorry. And we are back from our shishi break. You know, I said in Hawaii we say shishi, but I didn't. Who was it? I said, oh, I have to go shishi. Oh, it was Maya and Alex, you know, the skaters, Olympians, bronze. I said, oh yeah. Well, we were filming. I was like, oh yeah, hold on, I gotta go shishi real quick because I was talking to. I guess I was talking to them. I don't know. It's my pigeon. My pigeon came out. My Hawaii accent, and I said, oh, I gotta go shishi real quick. And they were just dying, dude. They were like dying. It was like that's what little kids say. I was like, what? Really? I thought it was a Hawaii thing. You guys didn't hear that growing up? Go shishi?
No.
Okay, well,
You said pee pee.
F me then.
I said I gotta take a piss.
Even as a little
gotta
kid, your parents said, "Oh, you gotta piss."
No, I said you gotta go potty.
How? No, I mean like as like a 5-year-old,
Yeah.
10-year-old.
10-year-old
What do you say? Oh, I gotta go pee.
bathroom.
Oh,
Or I
guess
gotta
so.
go pee. Yeah. Back to the segment.
Would
Oh
you
yeah, sorry, I got distracted. Damn, that sounded kind of nice.
I like that.
Damn, that's a new show we put in our show.
Would
I actually wasn't even
you
thinking about it even.
rather?
All right,
All right. Would you rather?
Well, you already did one.
Okay.
you can do as many as you want,
Oh, okay,
David.
go
You do
ahead, go
one.
ahead, go ahead.
You do one, David.
I was trying to think of one, but I couldn't think
I
of the
wasn't
other.
thinking this whole time. I
Okay,
forgot.
Okay,
I got
I
distracted.
came up with one, but I couldn't come up with the other. Maybe
Go.
you can come up with the other.
Okay. Say it.
Would you rather have 8 wives in your king size bed with you every night when you go to bed?
Oh,
8
okay.
wives for the rest of your life every night.
Okay.
Or blank.
What?
So
I'm telling you right now, I don't even need the other one. I don't want that many people in my bed.
That's what that's
You
the
know how
point
hot
is,
it
but
would be?
that's the rather part.
Well, why don't you make it worse then? Why don't you just say 8 other dudes?
8 wives.
no, but that's an easy
or-
one.
Depends what the other is.
Or
And the other one is 8
three-
other dudes.
Yeah.
3 dogs in a twin
Oh my god.
In your bed?
in your bed.
I'd rather have the dogs.
Big dogs.
You,
No, but that's a king size bed. Remember 8 people?
you know how
versus-
many 8 people is? Like that's
How about
5.
how about 4 Great Danes and a set of twins?
and a set of twins.
Yeah, babies. That will always be babies for the rest of their lives.
This is one of the weirdest would you rather's I've ever heard.
Yeah, so you got to choose one. They're both bad. You
I
gotta
would take
choose
the
one.
dogs and babies.
Find 6 Great Danes.
Oh my god, you can't keep changing it.
Find 6 Great Danes because it was too easy for you to come up with that. 6 Great Danes and a pair of twins
So weird.
and 2 puppies.
Do you have to take care of the babies?
No, they're just in your bed.
Okay,
They
so they're
live in your.
self-sustaining.
They self-sustaining. They're always.
Do
in
they
your bed.
cry?
Of course they cry. They're babies. Yeah.
Okay, then I'm going back to the wives.
Me too. Crying babies.
And what kind of wives? Are they like really nice or are they like
They're just
sleeping?
sleeping.
Oh,
Some
then
of
that's
them-
fine.
some of
Yeah,
them
I would
might-
just then you know what
some-
I'd stack them in a pyramid.
Some of them would be snoring. Some of them.
That's fine. It's
might
better than
have-
crying.
Might have BO.
I would stack them in a
and they're-
pyramid shape,
and they're all 500 pounds.
and you could just keep changing it.
Damn, I must have a really nice bed frame.
I know.
That's true. That's true.
I got a disgusting one.
All right, go.
Would you rather eat a sandwich that the meat in it is dog poop,
Oh, yum.
Or
or you have to eat a rotten, like a super expired taco? Like that the meat is all disgusting and moldy, and like the lettuce and the cheese is all like super old.
I mean, scientifically, it's both just filled with bacteria.
Yeah.
Organisms
Science.
that can definitely damage your body and potentially kill you.
but you have to pick one.
It's a mental thing at this point. They're both disgusting.
I would go with the taco.
I'd go with the taco too, because I know it came from food. It wasn't.
Yeah.
A piece
Like
of
you're gonna get sick either way.
But you know what? I think the poop would just dry out.
You're gonna try the poop even though you don't have
No,
to.
but
Yeah.
the poop would be dry versus like
Oh,
this
dried
green,
out.
spory, like
Yeah, you got to think
cheesy
also
kind of.
in the sandwich.
Yeah,
Only one ingredient is disgusting.
which is what?
the
Dog
poop.
Oh, right.
That's the
Everything
meat.
else is a fresh bread, fresh
I'm still going with
lettuce.
There's
taco.
lettuce and tomato.
fresh cheese. Yeah, it's a sandwich.
Oh.
Just a simple sandwich.
Mustard.
Yeah.
What kind of mustard? Dijon?
Yeah, regular, whatever you want.
Can I put
my
onions in
God.
it?
You can put onions.
How big is a piece of poop?
It's like as much like, if you would take
It's
a
like
regular,
a piece of roast beef,
yeah, it would be like a couple pieces or maybe like a schmear.
but dried.
This is exactly why we have more male
It can
viewers.
be dry or it can be wet.
Oh, gosh.
So imagine if you went to Subway that only served dog poop.
It's okay. To be clear, it's dog poop, not cat poop, because cat poop has a crazy
dog poop.
soury stench to it
Okay.
from experience of smelling.
I would
these
pick the
things.
dog poop sandwich.
You know what? I might take the dog poop because I know that with food that is spoiled,
Yeah.
it's extremely dangerous and you could die from like salmonella poisoning.
Really?
Yeah, you could die. You know when you get food poisoning?
Yeah.
That's just from eating like a little bit of like
Yeah.
fungi. But imagine if it was sitting there for like
You're still on
A
the
year.
spoiled taco?
Yep.
Damn.
I'd rather die.
dude, I'd rather enjoy that sandwich. Just saying. Just saying, man.
All right.
All right. We're not good at this game.
There's that game. And that was
Would you rather?
I like that game. It'll get better as we get better at it.
Yeah.
Well, next time we'll be prepared for it.
We're noob.
I just
noob-
wasn't thinking about it.
Newbie podcast.
I was trying to think of it. It is the tough part is keeping it clean.
It would be
But maybe it doesn't have to. We can do clean ones that are interesting.
Why don't you do a vote? What do you think people would say? Keep it clean or keep it dirty? I think they'd say dirty.
They would, but what's the point if everything gets like age restricted?
Sponsors.
This is
Would
the
you rather have it
well
clean
that
or
is
dirty?
well that as well, but that's not even the issue. It's the age restriction.
Yeah.
YouTube's gotten to this place. We always end up talking about YouTube. I don't want to talk about YouTube.
Just tell them.
Get
Just say
'em.
it.
It always
Just say
see
it.
the fact that we are even talking about this shows what's wrong with YouTube.
Get them.
Dang.
Thank you.
That's deep right there.
It is. It's true though, because I never used to feel like this. Even writing anything, like I was always clean,
Yeah.
like consciously, but like I never felt like I couldn't be.
Yourself.
Yeah. Where it's like
And they promote the whole be yourself thing.
they do promote that, but it's like okay, well, be yourself, but be the self that we want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fact that it's exhausting to talk about shows you there's a problem with it.
Yeah.
Get them.
There's no way we could do the would you rather's we did last night without getting age restricted.
Me. Tell 'em.
Please.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There was no way.
We need a new platform.
So do we want to talk about YouTube?
Not really.
Do you want to talk about you too?
Yeah, we already did that.
We can talk about it, but I don't
You?
want to.
About you too.
Everybody's always just complaining.
You too.
U2
I'm
the
complaining
band?
about them. Remember when
Remember-
they forced us to have
I
their
know,
music?
and you know what? I tried deleting it from my phone.
You can't.
But every time I go, like, I turn on my Bluetooth in my car, U2 starts playing, and I'm like, what is this great music that's playing? And then I get pissed off.
What is this great music that's
No,
playing?
and then I get pissed off. Actually, I really don't like the fact that it's playing, like auto plays in my car.
Yeah. It's
I don't know what to do.
It's
What-
upsetting. Stop using Apple.
Yeah,
products. That's the only way.
The products, yeah.
It just
Yep.
shows everyone is biased and they have their own agendas to push, including myself.
I feel
Everybody
like
has an
we were
agenda.
just talking about like
Yeah.
the whole Apple thing the other day, and like we were comparing like the sides of like you can see it from Apple's perspective. Or like we
Yeah.
were talking about how
Privacy.
yeah, and also how I think they tried to like literally stop the market of third party repairs, and they would try to
Right.
like sue these other small companies that were doing that. And I know there's a YouTuber online that like shows all the information of like he takes apart Apple products and says like they were going to charge you $600 for this. It literally costs $2, and this is how you do it. And they were trying to take it down, but
On the flip side, with the other argument
Yeah.
is that because Apple is, they want to control your experience,
Right.
which is good and a bad thing, right? It's positive because they maintain a very high quality level of service, product, design, all these things, and they want people to join their world and say, hey, we have this amazing experience that you can have going to the Apple Genius Bar. These products are 100% tested in our facilities
Right.
with our highest quality of standards. Whereas these third parties may take a shortcut. They may, find the same part in China that's, super cheap. But on the other side, not everyone can afford these ridiculous prices when it
Yeah.
comes to repair. So I can see kind of both sides.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
No, I just
because we were talking about it the other day.
Oh, really?
Like off, like somewhere.
I mean, I get it. I see both sides too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think
is
no matter
elitist,
what,
though.
yeah, I think no matter what though, like with anything, not just Apple, YouTube, everything, no, you can't satisfy everyone.
Yeah.
And the thing is, most people don't think in the same way where we're thinking from their perspective. And like, if you were to, from a business person's perspective, but put yourself in their shoes. If you're starting a business or you're doing things a certain way, I mean, if you really believe you know what's best, then start your own business. Go rival Apple if you know that much.
Yeah.
I think that's. I mean, we can complain as much as we want about YouTube and stuff, but if they're not willing to change, that's why I've stopped trying to change. There's no way you can change YouTube. They're too big.
Right.
So if they want to make it this way, you have to adjust. It sucks, but the only way we can do anything about it is either people stop using it because it's not good, or there's a competitor,
Right.
and they're just so big.
It's hard to compete with the company that's generating billions of dollars.
They have a monopoly on this system.
I'm on both sides. I would,
yeah, I get it too.
For me,
I get it.
For me, I'm actually a little more on the other side as far as the experience, because I mean, first off, I am an Apple fanboy, but the reason why I am is because I actually love their products. Now, do they charge a ton of money for like their laptops and their phones? Yes, they do. It is more expensive. But they've done an amazing job of branding and marketing, which is a little bit that doesn't hold that much weight, because marketing it's all about like kind of manipulation, right? In a way. But I do think that Apple products, because I guess I come from like the artistic side, right? And the creative side. Like when I see an Apple product versus anything else, for me personally, I see it as like, oh wow, this is a beautiful thing. Like,
It's clean.
it's clean, it's consistent, and I guess
very
that
clean.
aligns with like my
What you like.
somewhat OCD
Right.
kind of like.
But
self.
even I think, because for me, even just walking around, like Town Square or a mall or something, and you see an Apple store, it just looks so clean.
Yeah.
And for me, I personally hate the heat. Something like that looks so clean and cold. I just want to go in there.
You know what?
You know
it
what I
does
mean?
look cold. It's not a warm kind of place.
It's not a warm place. It's like all white,
sleek,
very sleek.
Yeah.
And I know it's gonna be cold in there, so that's
Yeah.
where I go. If it was always freezing, if I grew up in the Arctic, then I would probably go into something that looks more like a warm home,
Yeah.
like Hollister.
Yeah.
Not even though Hollister's really cold, but it looks like a house.
Yeah.
Something more like bright, and I guess I don't know what's a warm-looking store.
like a.
I think Hollister's pretty good. Looks
Hollister's
like a
pretty
log
warm.
cabin.
But it's
kinda.
very dark though, so and dark looks cold too.
That's true.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
That's the same thing. You know what I mean though by a warm store,
Yeah,
like it's
maybe
like
like a
orange, like
PacSun?
brownish.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, like a
The
Like
sun, they
surfer
got a sun-
brands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just a visual.
That's a
thing.
visual
It's
warmth.
my It's psychology.
Yeah. So yeah, like going back to that, I'm a big fan of it. I know people are going to disagree and be like, no, like Samsung's better and whatnot. You know what? I've seen Samsung phones are great. Actually, technology wise, they are a lot more advanced in a lot of ways.
Right.
They actually like try to improve and do all these things. But once you do too much of that, and they allow other people, there's too many ideas in that phone. In my opinion, in just the general direction is what I'm talking about.
Right.
I know what you mean.
And it gets a little clunky and a little bit like, what are you guys exactly? What are you trying to, I know what you're trying to do, but like, where's your identity? That's how my mind works.
Right.
I think once some of these other competitors, they start branding better and they have more of a design sense in terms of like their product and the way that they package everything together. That's the type of thing I have appreciation for.
Oh yeah. I mean, I literally just went through like getting the Apple Watch, and so I went through like looking through the market and seeing like what are my other opportunity or other options, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was basically just like either do Android or you do smartwatch or the Apple Watch. And I will say, after I went and got the Apple Watch, the packaging and everything, like I opened it, I was like, damn, this is pretty sick. Like just opening it, I was like,
Yeah.
man, they
control that whole experience.
yeah, they have a lot of attention to detail, which is I appreciate. Like you said, like coming from like an artistic mind's like perspective. Like even like on the back side, they had like a print on the inside that you couldn't even see until you open it. It was just very That part was very
and it's
cool.
consistent with all, not just their watch, but like
Yeah.
every product.
Yeah.
I sound like a Apple sales guy. Or no.
I
Would
think
you say that? So it's interesting because, and I just thought about this now, but like, so you're kind of saying that Samsung is like in a way it's messier, and Apple is cleaner, right? That's what you're saying, kinda, to a certain degree, when you look at it visually.
I kind of am.
Right.
But okay, so I made my point for Apple and their beauty and all that.
Right.
The other side that I think is great about companies like Google and basically Android phones is that they push innovation,
right.
and they actually allow people to kind of freely be creative and do their own things, as opposed to conforming to what Apple's brand standards are.
Right.
Right. Like, so Apple says, we built this, you need to build according to this.
Yeah.
Right. The Google kind of mindset is like, hey, this is an open field. You be as creative as you want. You build whatever you want, and here you go.
My thing is, I wish that there was a company that literally promotes both of those.
It's hard.
But I mean, like, in the sense of like, it's an open thing, but the experience is still very important, and like the sleek look and stuff like that. You know what I mean? The problem I have is like, it's very much one or the other. You know?
It's like red and blue.
Yeah. Take the red pill or the blue pill.
Yep. Or choose the red side or the blue side.
But I was really
Gangs.
excited for Google's modular phone. I don't think they're doing it anymore.
The Pixel? Not the Pixel.
I don't remember what it was, but it was like, I remember there was like a very big buzz about having like a phone where instead of replacing the phone, you replaced upgraded components, almost like a motherboard in a computer.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And so it would reduce electronic waste, and it would reduce like the consumer's cost because they didn't have to continue. So it was like, oh, we came out with a 30 megapixel camera, here, buy it. And then you just pop it out like a card and you punch it back in, and you essentially just upgraded your phone to a certain degree.
Yeah, I see it why it
You
would
won't
be
make as much
cool.
money.
Yeah, because you're
Right.
not forcing the consumer to buy an actual phone.
Right.
The entire thing. So from a business perspective, it wouldn't make as much sense, because why would I want to upgrade it if I have this, right?
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to make money. I was just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
for me personally, that idea
But it
when
is
I saw
awesome
it,
and cool.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Yeah.
that is like an innovative idea that pushes the industry. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
does.
Which is why I think some people had like problems with Apple, because I feel like in the
Mm.
beginning they were very much like an innovative idea.
When
big-
Steve Jobs was around.
yeah, and now it's just kind of like you were saying, they've kind of scaled back to just the experience, or having like this brand that they keep consistent, which
Mm. Yeah.
is still pretty cool.
And it is kind of like it is a slightly more shallow type of thing.
Yeah.
The branding and all that. I mean, it's very important because the branding, it's more of a psychological thing.
yeah,
The actual innovation of technology, I think, Android and Google they've done a much better job of like pushing that.
yeah,
And then Apple just kind of copies what they did.
right,
Yeah, but they perfect it
yeah.
and package it better. So yeah, at the end of the day, Android's a lot better.
But other thing is weird too is like when I was thinking like, do I want to switch to Android? And I was like, no, because everyone has iPhones. And if I were the only one that doesn't have one,
Well, in our group,
yeah, like
can't
all of my
iMessage.
friends.
for what we do, I think it's easier. But if we all were to switch, or say you were one of, like the minority, right,
Yeah.
with a iPhone, I think it's an easy switch.
You mean iPhone to Android?
No, I think the only reason I'm still getting iPhones is because it's easier. Everyone already has it.
Because they've created this whole ecosystem.
They did,
And,
That's
and
what I
that's
mean,
brilliant.
yeah, and you look
that's
at
brilliant.
you look at iMessage, for example.
Yeah.
If you text each other with iMessage on iPhones, it's a nice blue and white or blue and gray kind of messaging visual. But when you message with anyone outside of Apple, you get this like neon green thing that just
Yeah.
doesn't look good. It's like
Yeah.
kind of ugly, and they
And
do
it's
that
the
on
color of
purpose.
Android.
They do it on purpose.
And it's color of Droid.
I hate that.
I think they
Yeah.
do it on purpose. I
I
think
mean,
they
it's
do
they
that
are,
on
yeah.
It's a
purpose.
brilliant idea to create,
Yeah.
like you said, an ecosystem. That's a very good word to
Yeah.
put it, and I hate it. I hate
Yeah.
that. I'm in it. I'm stuck in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
And
if
they
I were
got
to-
you.
yeah, and
See,
if I
that's
were
the
to try
thing.
to-
They got us on a hook,
Yeah.
So they can do things that I hate, and I will still be loyal because I mean, not loyal. I have to. It's just out of convenience.
Yeah.
Like the whole like when a new phone comes out, I don't know. There was a study. I don't know if it's true or not, but I personally know for a fact that always happens. Like every time a new phone comes out, my phone, for whatever reason, I would say the last 4 phones consistently get slower. And I think there was a study or something about it. Maybe it's an update they release. I don't know what it is, but whenever like it's not my phone, it's not that old.
Well, didn't Apple release a statement saying they do slow down older phones?
Well,
Something
they
like
do.
that.
They do. And the reason being is because, you know, because with the new phone, right, the hardware, you have to release new software.
Right.
And software generally gets better, right? It doesn't get more slimmed down, it gets bulkier.
Right.
So when you have a bulkier software with more features and more tools and different, powerful
Well,
things.
your phone can't handle it?
Your phone can't handle it because it's not as powerful as
Right.
the new phone that comes out.
Okay, so
when you come out with the new software,
Right.
but you have an old phone, the old phone's hardware can't keep up with the software, so it disables certain things in the hardware,
Sure.
or in the software, or vice versa.
Right.
So it forces you to.
But that's my point, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's my point. Like, the fact that they're releasing this every single year, and there's not much change. They could have, for a fact that Apple has so many things that they're currently working on that's not going to be in the next phone.
Yeah.
Like, they hold stuff back. And they're doing it because they want to release more phones because they know that you have to get the next one because your phone's going to slow down and can't handle it. When they could have easily done something that they could have released a version that could handle the next update. If not, then why don't they have somebody thinking about that? Like, why don't they have somebody like saying, because everybody's complaining about it. There's all the conspiracies about how they're doing this to your phones.
Yeah.
Like they are aware of the problem. They've already addressed it.
I think it's less about that. It's more about it's like if you had a restaurant, right, and then you decide to change. So you had customers coming for a decade, and they're so used to like everything on the menu and the way that the chairs feel, and then one day they're like, okay, you know what? From a business perspective, hey, we got to evolve with the times.
Right.
People are getting more sophisticated. We don't want to just serve this like the same patrons that come into our restaurant. We want the young kids to come, but our place looks old.
Yeah.
So bringing in all these new furniture, but you can't really do half and half because it's just going to be weird with the branding and all that. But if you have the same, if you bring in a bunch of new furniture and make it look more hip because you want to draw this audience, then the old people, they're going to complain because it's not as like hip and forward thinking.
So that's the difference, though. This is not like when you're going into this restaurant for the old people. Like they're not allowed to like. You can still go there for free. Like you're not being forced to do something that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it's not like you're destroying that restaurant.
Yeah, my analogy is.
And then making you pay for another place. Yeah, but like. What they're doing is they're saying like, hey, you bought this from us, right?
Yeah.
And
you
now
have
it
to
doesn't
upgrade.
work the same way.
Right.
But you have to upgrade. You can't not upgrade.
Right.
Eventually, it makes you upgrade.
Yeah.
If they were to let you just let your phone work the way it is, like if my
Right.
phone worked the way it did,
Yeah.
like how I bought it and how it was intended to work, I don't care. You can have the coolest stuff, the next one. I'll get the next one after that maybe.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're making you get this product,
Yep.
the next product, because they ruin your previous product.
But they're not really.
is irresponsible.
But they're not really making you.
They are making you because they're.
You could switch to Android.
Well, that's what I mean. But like out of convenience, it's messed. That's why I'm saying it's messed up. But like I have to stay with it.
They're intentionally making the product you bought like obsolete so that you have to essentially.
No, I don't think it's that.
No,
I don't
no,
think they're
that's what he's saying. Like
I don't
even
think
if it's not intentional, they're not. They don't care
because
about their
because
current
because they care about moving
consumers.
forward. They care about
Right.
improving technology. They care about not
Right.
being stuck in the past, but like moving on to
Right.
better and newer things. Because that's what their job is, right?
But it's they're doing it on purpose because, like you said, I mean,
Yeah.
considering you're developing an app, you know that when they put an update,
Yeah.
they are forcing other people who have apps to conform to their
Correct.
update.
Yeah.
So because
That does suck, yeah.
It could be just as simple to help to fix Ryan's problem would be if you have a phone that's let's say the 6, it caps at a certain update so that when you don't upgrade into the next software to mess up your phone. So you could say like, well, you could buy a 6, but it only goes up to software XYZ.
Right.
And
Yep.
so it won't get messed up, but you
So
don't
they
have
do-
the features of the new one.
So they do that within the software itself. They have to. But I guess, I mean, I'm not an engineer, but from what I understand is if you create, how do I explain this? So if you create a new software update, it's addressing certain bugs, but it's also helping the new phone. It's a software that fits into the hardware of the new phones that come out.
Right.
Right. The new and better and faster and more powerful, right?
It's an overall update.
It's an overall
Yeah.
update. Now, for Apple to spend their resources and their engineering power on creating, and they do already have this. They have an iPhone 16 right now, right? For all the iPhone 6s,
Right.
even though we're at iPhone 10.
Right.
But then how long are they going to keep this going and have people fix bugs that are still appearing in iPhone 6? They want to move on to the next phones. They want to get it more.
So what you're saying is so the bugs that they're fixing, right? Like on the iPhone
which
6.
are always there, yeah.
Yeah, they're always there. But like
Yeah.
if you're satisfied with how your phone is when you buy it,
Yeah.
which, if it can run that way, can they maintain that that current form, even with the bugs that are currently there? But that's what you bought. Like that's what the phone is. That's fine.
So the thing with the
Can you
company.
maintain
So
that?
here's the thing. So from Apple's perspective, why would they spend millions and millions of dollars more into a software, into a team that just cares about the
That's what I'm
iPhone
asking.
6?
Do they need a
because
separate
they don't
team?
because they don't make
No, but
money.
do they?
They
so
would.
do
Yes.
they need another team.
They need another
So
team.
then that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It
So-
makes no sense
So
financially.
then
for
what
them
they
to
should
that.
do
Yeah.
is, I mean, I guess then it becomes this point is at what point, like if they really wanted to,
Mm-hmm.
so by this logic, why not just release a new phone every month and force you to
Well,
buy a new phone?
They do with
At what-
software, but not
No,
the
but
hardware.
why not just a new phone every month? And you would force to
Because
buy
that's
it.
too expensive.
Exactly. But for a lot of people,
For
it's too
phones.
expensive
Yeah.
already because of how frequently they're releasing phones. And that's the point. They need to make something that, and this is only, I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, the more this happens and the more frequently this happens, the more I'm going to try and campaign
Yeah.
and tell people, like, I'm ready to switch. I'm going to tell all my friends to switch.
And then as far as Apple's perspective is if they
Right.
don't release phones at this rate,
Yeah.
then they have to lay people off.
Yeah, which is fine. Like if
'Cause they've
that's
grown so
the way
big.
they're gonna if that's the
Yeah.
way they're gonna be like their company.
Yeah.
I get it. Like I understand it, but that's just how it works. Like if people can't afford it and
Mm-hmm.
it keeps coming out, like we're fortunate enough that we can afford it, but if it keeps coming out, what's stopping them from going every single month? And the next month it comes out, your phone starts
Yeah.
getting slower. After that, your phone gets even slower than that. Like there's nothing stopping them other
Right.
than it's not a good idea.
There's not. It's like, I'll go back to the restaurant analogy. Let's say you're max capacity every night, right? And you hire people and then you've hired enough people to have a good business, right? This comes down to capitalism, right? Do you want to create more jobs for people? Right? If you're at the top of this restaurant and you're max capacity every night and you make a certain amount of money, right? It's like, should this company be able to open
They're not
another?
worried. They're not worried about other people. They're worried about themselves. Not about
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not
exactly.
worried about people losing their jobs. Trust me.
They're not worried about it.
They're
but
not worried about it.
But it would happen.
No, because if you really
Yeah.
were worried about and you weren't being selfish, what you would do is exactly what you said. You create another team, right? It costs them more money,
Yeah.
but it will keep their people happy. People like me and Will that have the old, not just me and Will, but like I'm saying, like it's
Yeah.
just my example.
Yeah, yeah.
They would create another team which creates more jobs, costs them more money,
Right.
But it's like, are they the ones? They're going to lose money, but their people are happy. Their customers are happier.
I think this goes into a much deeper conversation about capitalism. So, like, let's say you had this restaurant, right? And you were making $10 million a year, right? They could open another restaurant, another chain, and open another one, and then they can open a franchise and become the next In-N-Out, the
Sure.
next Chick-fil-A, the next whatever. That depends on their goal. Now, with this phone company, do they want to just be a mom and pop like phone shop, or do they want to compete with Samsung and all these other companies? Do they want to change the world?
Sure.
Do they want to have influence over a country? Do they want to have influence around the world? And
Who doesn't want
and
that?
Be and kind of have create create this like brand that represents America and American
Right.
goods, right? That gives you influence and power over all the other countries in terms of technology. Do you want to be a leader in that? You can't be a leader if you don't expand. And if you don't expand and you're not generating more revenue,
Of course.
then you'll never have that sort of
It's a balancing act.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is they're getting to the point where I think they're not going to generate more revenue.
they can't. They're done right now actually. So as far as phones, most people in the they've already kind of like maxed out the number of people who can buy phones from Apple
What?
because everyone has iPhones. A lot
Yeah,
of
but
people
I mean,
have
like,
iPhones.
there's always going to be kids and people growing. Like, there's populations increasing. Like,
yeah, but not at the rate where it's like
it's worth it.
That's
It's
why
worth
right now they're focusing on software upgrades as opposed to hardware.
Right,
like,
right.
Because everybody already has an iPhone. So you like how
No, but
often are you gonna buy?
But you just said like, I guess if they're at the maximum, like the perfect device, which doesn't exist, then that one can handle the most updates. Like because they're not building new phones.
Yeah,
So if they build a new phone, it's because they have updates that can't be handled. There's that's the thing. So are they done making new phones? I don't think they are.
Oh no. They're never done making new phones, but
Yeah.
But they are having like with the latest iPhone that came out.
Yeah.
It had the least amount of buzz because everyone already has an iPhone. Like I'll wait it out for the next one.
Right.
Because I'm happy with this one.
But you can't though, because when the next one comes out, your phone's not going to stop working once you update.
I think
That's what I'm saying.
I would say this is somewhat of a simple solution, but it's kind of like a compromise between them having a team and the team moving on or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But when they have a phone, in the beginning, when you buy a brand new phone, it has bugs, and people are like,
Yeah.
fix this. And then like a year later, maybe 2 years later, it gets to a point where it works good and you want to keep it the exact way it is. Even if it has like maybe one bug here, it's very
Solid.
doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a problem when it switches over to the new phone that everyone complains again or says, screw it, I'm going to buy a new phone. There needs to be a way to like solidify that phone in that zone.
So that phone will not slow down if you don't upgrade to.
Oh,
the
mine
latest.
does.
What?
Mine
does,
gets
yeah.
really buggy. I don't even update.
That
When you don't update?
100%.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Actually, okay, there's something to be said about that. That's
Yeah.
probably true in some ways.
Yeah.
Because at that point, Apple has already invested in improving their overall system, the back end. Not necessarily that one update, that iPhone 6 software, but the entire back end infrastructure because they need to grow. They need to make better things. They know AR is a future and they need to build accordingly. Now, that does make sense. Maybe it does slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the problem is for the consumers, like I see what Ryan says about if I buy a phone at this one point and it's working up to the standards that you as a consumer want it to, it's kind of it's like I would say again, the word I'm using is slimy.
Yeah.
That the company isn't really like doing something actively
For that.
for that specific problem.
Right.
And the reason is, it's money. They want you to. They essentially. It's
Or-
not. You can't argue
Yeah.
against that. They
Or
want
they
you to
should-
upgrade your phone.
It's just not a priority.
Well,
in
they
their-
should just
yeah.
disclose
Yeah.
this phone only lasts a year until it starts slowing down.
But you know what? That the same problem. It's the same exact problem that every phone company has, whether you're Apple or Android,
Yeah.
Samsung. It's the same thing. Apple just gets that sort of
Well, I don't know that because
Yeah, it is. Because that's how software.
I can't even agree with that because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
I'm speaking from personal experience because there was no release telling us this until recently.
Right.
And I always suspected. I called it out in videos a long time ago, and then this article came out within the last year or so.
Yeah.
Because they did some Harvard study or something like that. But when that came out, I was shocked, even though I knew it was happening. I just didn't know. I was like, it's just a conspiracy. It's in my head, like,
Yeah.
But it makes sense because I'm like, man, I have to spend money again. I just got this because I don't get phones when they just come out.
Yeah. Me
And
neither.
I just got, I forget which one it was. It could have been the 5 or
I
something.
think it was a 6.
It just came out. Like,
Well, I'm
I
still
got
on.
something, and then 2 months later, the next one
Yeah.
came out, and my phone stopped working.
'Cause for
I was like,
me-
there's no excuse that this phone that's 2
Yeah.
months old should stop working for that price.
Yeah.
Well, that's a different. That's probably the phone itself. But like for example,
No,
I'm on a
no.
What do you
iPhone
mean?
7.
Okay.
My phone works completely fine, and
For
I'm on
now,
the
yeah.
latest update.
For now.
So for me, I'm like, I know some people have that problem of where their
Most
phone
people
slows
do.
down a lot.
Yeah.
But why not me?
Maybe just for your phone. I don't know.
See, so that's why
Or maybe maybe it is, but it's just in your
Yeah,
head.
so-
It's
or-
not slowing down.
it's not really. It's fast enough for me to.
So then, what
use
we're saying then
everything,
it's
yeah.
not. Then it is just they have faulty products, like a lot of.
It could
bad
be
products.
that. It could be that.
Because
I-
most
yeah.
people I know agree with what we're talking about.
Mine, what really creeped me out was mine only started messing up. I mean, this is going to sound like huge conspiracy.
Yeah.
Mine only started like getting really glitchy when they started having new releases, and I was watching videos on the new phones and the
Right.
new products. And that's when I was like, this is weird.
But that's there is like I mean there's already talk about that with whole like Alexa and that's Amazon and
Yeah.
Google Home
Yeah.
and there's already like things like and your phone there's that
Yeah.
conspiracy and it's been proven
And
Like,
I'm
people
talking
have
about,
tested it.
Yeah, like not simple like slowdown. I'm talking like I'd be typing.
That's Facebook's thing.
and it wouldn't type, and then it would go,
That's what I had
and it would like glitch, and it would type like really fast. Like
Yep.
it would slow, and it would like.
Interesting.
And there was other
It
ones
just
too.
didn't work.
I never had that problem.
And I tried to push the off,
I've
like
had
the
that same
sleep
thing.
button, and it wouldn't do it. And then like 2 minutes later, it would go to sleep and then come up again. It
Oh,
was
I've
like-
had that. I've had that one.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
only after I started, and then I started thinking, I was like, how sick would it be? I mean, this is gonna be really conspiracy.
If they did that on purpose.
If
yeah.
there was a team
Yeah.
at Google that of soft of,
You
of
mean
people,
Apple?
I mean, excuse me, at Apple that are in charge of writing code to bug your phone. Like that would be.
I mean,
that'd be
I
gross.
honestly
It would make you
would,
sick.
honestly I would not even if I heard that now I'd be like, man, that's messed up. But like they've already been doing it in my head.
Yeah.
Like I know. Like I mean until there's a better option.
I don't think
like,
they
we
have
don't
teams that do that. In my opinion,
I don't think so
because-
either.
I mean, I
because
don't think so either.
That'd be a
but
horrible press, really. Like,
Right.
No,
if
but I mean,
one
they're
person
obviously
leaks
never-
that. Oh my
it's
gosh,
super conspiracy, right?
No, but
Like,
they're obviously never gonna get caught.
yeah,
but I will
top
say,
secret.
but I will say that they are aware
yeah,
of what that would do, and maybe there are some problems that. All I know is that when Steve Jobs was around, my phone was amazing. Everything was great about Apple.
I would say I would agree with
Yeah.
that.
After he
It was a lot
died,
better.
like, it just Tim. I don't know if Tim Cook is the right.
Yeah.
He wasn't the visionary.
Right.
Steve was.
I don't know. I mean, I just know my own personal experiences.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, like for all I know, I could be talking out of my butthole.
maybe
you know?
next.
Bangholeo.
Maybe the next upgrades we have to switch to Android together to experience it. and
Maybe
then swap
no,
back.
but that's the thing. I would have to
can't.
convince all of you guys and my friends.
I
'cause
would do
don't-
it unless like give me like 2 or 3 years on this watch.
Yeah,
and then
out
we'll
of
be good.
convenience.
But you like
though,
your watch, right?
I love it. Yeah.
until they release the next watch.
Yeah, this is the most brand new one, and I was like, okay, this has about maybe 2 years,
Right.
which is sad.
And this
You
is
know,
the
to think that
Apple
way.
conspiracy.
Wait, so like, okay, for you, like, would you guys want to keep the same exact phone for how long? Like until you get tired of it and you want to improve. Generally,
I mean,
not
I
because
think-
you're not forced, but
Oh, right,
like
right.
your own preference.
I would
Honestly,
keep
honestly,
the
I
same
think when it
phone.
would naturally break down or until there's features where I feel like, holy crap, that's so awesome, I'm gonna upgrade.
Yeah. Same
And
way.
normally the one phone away is not big enough. Maybe like 2-3 phones away is like,
Yeah.
holy crap, I need to get animojis.
So like 4
you know?
years,
I would say 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
Because like the phone should still work, and I know they used to work that long before.
Yeah.
Why all of a sudden after like, see, this is how I know it's not the phone. When I got my last phone, like I said, I got it late. I think it was the 5. I got the 5 really late, and they just had released the 6 like 2 months later. That's when my phone started getting super buggy. Brand new phone. You know it's not the phone unless it's just that one, and it's unfortunate. It worked perfectly right when that other one came out. I don't remember if I updated right away or not. I probably updated it. I probably just did it. It got so bad. Everything was like what Will was talking about. I think it was the 5 going to the 6. It could
Yeah.
also be the 6 going to the 7. But regardless, I was like, okay, well, I know for a fact, because I used to think, okay, maybe the phones just kind of, maybe they overheat over like a year and then
Yeah.
they kind of break down. But that wasn't the case.
That was a brand new phone.
It was a
right?
brand new, 2 months in, brand new phone. Same with what they were talking about with the battery life. Did you hear that someone tried to sue them? So now they have to like, if your phone dies in the first like, one of my cousin actually had to do this. Her phone, basically in like a couple hours will go from 100% to like 20%. Brand new. It's like the new iPhone.
Oh, she got a bad battery.
Yeah. So now because they're getting sued, you can go to any Apple store and tell
Get a free
them
battery, yeah.
Yeah, you can get a free change. But like no one had no one
I think you got to do it before the end of this month.
something like that. But the thing is, if had no one tried to sue them, do you think they would offer that?
Probably not.
No.
Of course not, because they don't care about like.
Well, because it wasn't a big deal to them, because no one really played as much.
Yeah, because people thought like, oh, maybe it's just like I'm using it and my phone's getting old. That's what I used to think.
Yeah.
But then I realized that's not how the phones they don't die that fast. And it's
Right.
only when the next phone's coming out.
Yeah.
And that's only for one reason, to make more money, to make you buy the next thing. And that's why I think it's messed up.
I think there's more than just that. I think it's more than just money. I think it's about influence. It's about power. It's like if Apple didn't have power,
Well,
there's
money is power, though.
Yeah.
That's what I meant by
So the way that I see it is, if it wasn't Apple,
Yeah.
it's gonna be someone else. And
Who does what?
Is the leader in phones, in phone technology.
Right.
So if it's gonna be
So
someone
I
else,
want someone else to do that then. I want someone
Right.
to have more influence, because everybody needs a competitor.
Yeah.
Or else things become you can't have a monopoly.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, it's like, who would I want to be bigger as a hamburger? I know I keep talking about food. I just love food.
I love
Like, I don't mind that In-N-Out
Yeah.
is massive.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind, actually, if they took over the world, because I just like In-N-Out.
No, but what if like when
I
they
want
do-
them to take
No,
over
but
the
here's the
world.
difference. What if they do take over the hamburger industry?
Yeah, and I
then-
would be fine, because
No,
they
but
they
they
have a high
change.
but they have a high standard of
Say they double,
quality.
they triple their prices.
Yeah.
You would still support them.
Oh, no, of course not.
Exactly. It's the same thing.
But I know that they have higher standard of hamburgers than like
They do.
someone like a McDonald's.
Sure.
right?
But let's say
So-
McDonald's kept their prices. Do you think they'd be able to take back In-N-Out if In-N-Out tripled their prices?
So In-N-Out is Apple in my eyes. McDonald's is Android.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, let's say, for example, right?
Yeah, I think so. For me, In-N-Out just uses higher quality.
You're just doing
products.
an analogy.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay, so
analogy.
just as in the example,
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, if they were to triple their prices, because they can, because they know how good they are, and let's say they're doing better than McDonald's, like
Yeah.
significantly.
Sure.
So they have such a huge fan base, Apple, right? And they tripled their prices, right? Or they kept raising it more and more and more. At
is
what
that what
point-
Apple's doing though?
that in a way they are, because they are making you buy new. They're increasing the revenue. They're becoming more powerful,
Sure.
right? So at what point do all these In-N-Out fans say, you know what, this is a great product, but screw these guys, they're greedy. Be as innovative, make new hamburgers. They're all great. You got to stay there because they're so good. But at what point is
But
it
maybe
like,
they need to be-
I need another.
Yeah.
If another competitor came around and they're almost as good,
Oh, then
and they're
that's
selling it
great.
at 1/3 the price.
That's great.
Why wouldn't you support
Oh,
them?
of course, but that doesn't
That's
exist
what's-
right now.
That's what I'm saying. We
Yeah.
need that.
In-N-Out is not Apple.
I know.
In-N-Out, if you were to look at In-N-Out,
Yeah.
they have kept the same thing because they know it's good. You know what I mean?
It's high quality. They have
It
their own
is.
farms,
But they
own
haven't
cows.
They haven't like tried to like get you to pay for a little bit more, and they can keep increasing their prices. You know what I mean? Like stereotypically, In-N-Out.
Right,
if you were to
right.
picture In-N-Out in your head as a person, as a compliment, I would think it's like some old farmer guy who's just like, well, I've just been making the same thing for 100 years,
right.
and I'm not going to change
Fair,
it,
yeah.
and I'm going to charge you $1. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
It's
Well,
not like,
David was just using that as his analogy because
Yeah.
he loves In-N-Out so much.
Yeah. In-N-Out's great. It's great.
don't you
everything.
dare.
I love it. I love
Will
it.
just got so offended by that. That was
In-N-Out is
You know
like
what?
so
I love
wholesome.
I love
It is.
In-N-Out
It
and I
is.
love McDonald's for their own reasons.
yeah.
But I just know that as far as the ingredients, I think I was talking more in terms of ingredients.
Yeah.
The
Quality.
quality of ingredients with McDonald's versus In-N-Out is a world of a difference.
Sure.
Less processed, that type of thing.
Yeah.
In terms of like the raising of the prices and having people like the money part. I'm not
Yeah.
talking about the money part.
See, that's the difference though, because there's so many burger places,
Yeah.
Jack in the Box, whatever, Burger King,
Yep.
that they can't afford to do that. The reason why Apple can is because they have such a stranglehold. The reason why YouTube can do what they do is because they have a stranglehold on the market, and that's the difference. And that's why I say there needs to be competition.
The bar is low to create a hamburger joint versus a phone company.
Well, that's why.
Yeah. There's not many competitors.
Yeah, that's why I was so excited for like that modular phone, because if you think of like all the people who are upset, like I don't want to buy a new phone every year, it's like that is kind of a solution.
Yeah.
Here's like a base processor or a phone.
Right.
You just have to upgrade the parts.
Right.
So it is essentially kind of a solution to that bubble or whatever in the market of people
Yeah.
who don't want to do that.
But I think that the only thing about the modular phone is like you know, what can you upgrade in that?
I don't know. I might not
You
really
know?
look into it. I just thought it was like
Yeah.
a very cool, exciting
cool idea.
idea.
It's a cool idea, but
know.
it's
And then
hard to execute that because, like, if your phone comes, let's just say it comes with the screen,
Yeah.
right, and then you can upgrade every other piece but the screen,
Right.
Then it's kind of like, now I need to get a new screen again.
Well, maybe that's why I think Google stopped the
Yeah.
project.
Yeah,
That's why I
it's
don't.
hard.
Maybe they
Yeah.
reached a dead end and said like it's not really feasible right now.
Right,
But
right.
something like
but the
that,
idea is great.
Yeah.
the concept
Yeah.
itself.
like having something like that on the market that's an alternative, you know,
Yeah.
is like
Yeah, like an attachment or
yeah,
whatever.
and something
replacement.
like that would be very new and very exciting, almost like a reinventing the smartphone essentially.
I do remember hearing
Right.
about that phone.
Yeah.
Man, I love Apple.
You do.
See, that's the thing though. Like I was still
It's like politics, right?
as upset
Everyone-
as I get over this,
Yeah.
even when it's proven.
Yeah.
I'm under the spell.
Me too.
It's
I
not even a spell. I'm committed because everyone else is.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
I literally have
Yeah.
new
Like
Apple
the thing is,
Watch.
it's a good product until they update, or until a new phone comes out. Not
Yeah.
update.
Yeah, I agree.
It's like when you first get it and it's new, even with bugs, it's like holy crap. The fact that this is a real thing that didn't exist 10 years ago. Did it
Yeah.
exist 10 years ago?
Yeah.
The iPhone?
Yep.
Okay, well, whatever year, the iPhone didn't exist at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how far it's gone. It's like this is an amazing.
It's been about 14
thing.
years, I think.
Yeah, it's regardless. Even in the first iPhone compared to now, it's amazing. It's a
Yeah.
great, brilliant product. And maybe they needed all our money to get it that far.
To get it to that point, yeah.
Maybe that's the only way they're surviving. But
Like,
I highly doubt that.
let me
I think
give-
they're making so much money.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the problem.
To create a company like that, it's a lot of work, and it's
It is
it's
money
a
too.
huge company. You know, like each engineer, they have like I don't even know how many staff they have. Probably like hundreds of thousands. I'm guessing. right?
Probably, yeah.
Like one engineer, and for AR,
Yeah.
it costs like $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like not even including like health insurance.
Right.
So let's say $400,000 a year.
Yeah.
For one person.
But
And if they have
they're-
hundreds of
but
thousands.
think about it like this: they have that many. They have to pay a lot, obviously,
Yeah, yeah.
right? But that's not the issue. Like they're making money.
They're
It's not
making
like
money.
they're
They make a
losing.
ton of money.
The guy
yeah.
at the top is
They
making
do.
money. The
They-
people
they
at the
all-
top,
They all make a lot.
exactly, like a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
So it's not the issue that they're like they need to do this to
Mm-hmm.
stay competitive. Like they're doing it because it makes them money.
Yeah.
It's not about like
Because
we
if they're
need
not
this.
making money, they're dying.
No, they can be making money, but there's a difference between making money and being greedy.
That's another conversation.
Damn,
there.
there's some philosophy in
There's
there.
a lot of philosophy in that
Yeah.
one.
You know what else is greedy? When you agreed with me. Because the word greed.
See, I
And
knew
then we
that-
bring it back to the beginning of the podcast.
I said that because I knew
You knew we
was
were going to
come
be
back
here. See, deja vu. I'm starting to feel tingly.
Agreed.
Holy crap.
ASMR.
See, time and space. time and space. All of this whole podcast, there's no order. Everything's happening at the same time.
Did you have the very first iPhone?
I believe I did.
I think I only got like the
I was
second or
a-
third.
I was on.
Maybe the second.
I came in at 4, I think. I was really late. I was a BlackBerry guy.
Oh my gosh.
You didn't like
Blackberries were awesome, dude.
I like the buttons.
You could text without looking.
Yeah, I like those.
Gosh.
And you know what else you could do? Is play that little ball game where you bounce it off the walls and break all the things.
Ping pong. Pong.
No, you break
No,
like the blocks.
Brick Breaker.
Yeah, that. See, you don't even know, dude.
Brick Breaker was
You don't even
fun.
know. Kids don't even know. They should. Why does an iPhone have that? It's like a simple game.
Yeah.
They probably do.
They're starting to get into the software, so they're gonna have a bunch of games.
You guys
and stuff.
remember the little block dude in your TI 83s,
Pac-Man?
82s? Your calculators had that block dude game.
Oh, like
Yeah, and you would like have to like solve puzzles. You remember that?
I don't remember that.
I never had a TI.
You never had TI 82?
I didn't get into calculus, so
I think I had one,
Really?
but I didn't know it had
Yeah.
games.
Well, you don't need it for you need it for geometry.
I only
even.
got up to algebra 1.
That's a lie.
Nah.
Such a lie.
Hey, if there's people out there who've got only to algebra 1, it's okay.
It is okay.
Einstein didn't even get to anything.
He's a nobody.
He got somewhere.
He didn't
got
even know
some-
what gravity was.
Yeah,
Loser.
I don't know who that guy is.
Who is that guy?
Rest in peace.
I know. I know he dated his cousin.
What?
Einstein dated his cousin.
Really?
I watched a documentary. I think so. Yeah, he left his wife to
For
be with
his
his cousin or
cousin.
something like that. Yeah.
Wait, I heard it was his sister.
Okay, well, regardless, it's still weird. Hey, but if you're dating your cousin, it's okay, guys. Just kidding.
Yeah. I've heard some stories about people dating their cousins.
There's some. At what point? You know how like we're like it's okay that we're saying this.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's weird. At what point is PC culture going to reach that? You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Because that's kind of the route. Like,
What do
at
you
what?
mean?
You know, before you could be like, oh, and not that I'm saying this, but back in the day, they probably were like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Like being gay was so wrong, and
Yeah.
and now if you were to say, oh, that's weird, you would get so much flack for it.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean
But,
back
like,
then?
Times
Yeah.
have changed.
So what if in the future it's like, dude, love is love, dude. Like if you want to love your sister and cousin, like, how dare you say it's weird?
You know what?
At what point does it stop? Because it might not.
It won't. I
Yeah.
don't think it will.
What? You don't think it will? What?
I think it's okay. I think it's okay if a guy loves their sister.
I think so too.
I don't know.
But you mean
But I don't think it's
sexually?
Yeah, I don't think it's acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
And there's also health reasons for that.
Yeah,
I think
don't
if you have kids,
I don't think it'll
but
ever
like,
get there.
You
no,
don't
but
think
there's
so?
also health reasons for a lot of things. I don't think so either. But I'm just saying it might. We don't know. Nobody thought
you
it
know
was
what?
going to be at a time when everybody was like,
You know what? There shouldn't be any laws against it if people want to.
yeah, but like at what point is it?
But how is that dangerous to society or a menace?
I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
think it
for the
is. I
kid.
don't
Maybe
think it
there's
is
more
at all.
complications. I guess.
You don't think
You
just
think so?
because people want to do it, there shouldn't be laws against it?
No, with your
Siblings.
siblings.
Sibling love.
So
Sexual
incest. Incest is
Incest.
incest illegal?
Yeah.
It is, right? Mm-hmm. It's just. It's not just like that's weird and
Should
gross.
I don't think
it's
it should,
illegal.
Should it be illegal or I think it shouldn't be illegal. As long as you don't have kids, because there's complications there.
I mean, you know, if we're getting into politics about it,
Oh, we always go into politics. Come on.
Yep. But do you know what I'm saying though, right? Like at what point
Freedom.
does it stop?
If you wanna marry your cow, you should be able to.
See, so there's arguments there too. But like I think you're literally gonna get to that point where
Who's to determine what love is?
no, but that's what we're saying.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's okay.
Okay, so you're already at that point.
I'm already there. I already married my
like
dog.
Yeah.
We got legal papers.
so
and everything.
you think you're taking like a libertarian side where the government should not regulate personal
Right.
like love interest or like laws
You know what?
of love.
we already have that.
But
In a way.
the argument there is that people when you get married, there's benefits.
Oh, you're talking about the benefits part.
No, but that's why I'm saying that's why you
Oh,
can't do
should,
it, or that's the argument for like why people don't want to allow gay marriage, or
If gay, transsexual, lesbian, whatever else
Yeah.
there is I'm missing, if any of those people can benefit from these laws, because what defines that is love, their definition of love. Right?
yeah,
Right.
right.
So if love is what it is, if I love my dog,
But it's also to them, it's not
if
considered.
maybe not my dog. If
Right.
you have a like brother or sister, or whatever.
right.
If that relationship is based off of quote unquote love,
Right.
Yeah, but how
it's
can
the
you?
same exact thing.
It's different with a dog because a dog
Okay,
can't reciprocate.
take away the dog.
same.
Take
Okay,
away the
say your
dog.
sister, like incest.
Yeah.
Like your sister.
Yeah.
That I get that perspective. I just haven't thought about it that much.
I
to be
don't think
honest.
about it either. I don't
Yeah.
want to.
No, but I know what you're
It
saying.
disgusts me to think about it.
I know, but
No offense to
that's
any-
the thing-
no
see,
offense
that's the
to
thing.
everyone.
You can't even. We're allowed to say that right now. If they see this in like 20 years when it's allowed, if
Yeah,
maybe
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
be
get-
we're bigots.
No, so what I'm saying, it disgusts me
Look at Will.
personally.
Yeah.
But other people,
That's
just
what I'm
do
saying.
your
But
thing.
back then,
It
20
would-
years ago, it
would-
disgusted people to be gay.
Like, I don't want to kiss a dude. I
know you
I'm
don't.
straight.
I know you don't,
It
but you
disgusts
can't say
me
that.
to want to kiss a dude for myself.
yeah,
And that's okay. I don't. If two other guys want to do it,
I
fine.
think that's fine.
Do your thing.
But I'm saying you're not even allowed to say that anymore.
Say what I just said.
Yeah.
I just said it.
No, you're not about to. You're disgusting. Like that's disgusting. You're not allowed to say that. You were. Allowed
You know
To
what?
say
I don't
that.
even like it when two couples,
We're allowed to
straight
say-
couples, kiss in front of me. I don't even like that either.
Right now, I know. Sure. Well, we're allowed to say right now. We're pushing down a slippery slope.
I know, we're going
but
down a
no,
slippery
but I'm
slope.
saying it's interesting. So I want to
It
talk
is,
about
it is, it is
So
interesting.
we're allowed right now to say, oh my gosh, that guy and girl, brother and sister are
Mm-hmm.
in love and they're hooking up. That is weird. That is disgusting. I think it's disgusting.
I think it's fine to say that because I feel that way.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I
at
can't
what
see myself
point-
doing that
I
with my
know,
sister.
but I'm just saying we're allowed socially to say it.
Yeah.
Yes, we are. We
can
are.
say
You could
whatever
say
we
that.
want.
You say like,
You
oh my gosh,
should.
you saw in the news like this mom was dating her 30-something-year-old son.
I could say that's disgusting.
I know, but you can say that.
Yeah.
If you see two people,
Right.
no matter what you believe,
I think anyone should be able to say anything they want.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't incite.
I know, but I'm
like,
saying at what
violence.
point?
Or you're like, you know,
David said,
I don't know.
he said no offense, and he was talking about people who are who are into incest. He said
No offense to the
no
people.
offense.
No
No, but
offense.
that's what I'm saying.
But it's my free speech.
Yeah.
But as far as what other people do in their lives, it's none of my business. Is what I'm
I
saying.
agree with that.
There's a wall right there. But
I agree with that.
between me and that same like a sister or something, like
Yeah.
no, like that's off limits, right? Like I'll take it to the crazy extreme for human beings that have sexual relations with animals, which does exist.
Yeah.
Like bestiality. I don't watch that stuff. I've never actually even seen one.
Sure.
But I know it exists, right? Because people tell me.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's illegal.
Who am I to say though that, like, what that person does and feels? What if they really feel in love? Like, maybe they're psychologically a little bit strange from my perspective, but if they are actually super in love sexually with a monkey, and the monkey maybe feels the same way,
That's the thing. How do you know that the monkey feels the
I have
same
no
way?
idea.
So that's the
issue with
that's
animals.
the difference.
okay,
in
fine.
animals,
Let's take it brother-sister relationships.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
so you're
that's
saying
what-
if
They
a
are
brother and a sister
are
say they're in love
sexually
Yeah.
in love,
and romantically,
and I would never do that. Let me put that out there.
and no offense to
And
anyone
no offense
who's
to
in-
anyone, like
Yeah.
for voicing
No, but
my
it is
opinions.
offensive to them. But in society, it's not offensive
Okay,
because
fine.
we all agree that it's disgusting.
Right.
But there are
Until
but at the same
it's-
time, there are people who are okay with that.
There's less, and I'm sure they do exist. But what I'm saying, the whole reason
I'm
I
just
brought
trying
this
to-
up is like, where do
Yeah.
we draw the line? Because we used to draw the lines in different places. So right now, this same podcast video, not even maybe like 20 years.
Yeah.
That's not a lot of time. We'll still be alive. 30 years even. At what point does this PC culture make it not okay to say what we just said? That we're going to be considered like just incest phobic. We're bringing incest. You're an incest phobic.
It sounds like something that's like it's like of course we could say that now, but you're saying in 10 years
because before they thought being gay was wrong.
they did,
They thought it was like majority
Yeah.
of people thought it was wrong. They felt that even gay people felt they had to hide it.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying is like let's say 40, 50 years ago, or same thing as being black. They thought it was
Yeah.
wrong to have that skin color or to be Asian
That's
or
true.
whatever at some point.
Yeah.
So as much as we believe something right now that incest is disgusting,
It is.
a very there's a possibility, right?
Yeah.
In 20, 30, 40, 100 years
And I'm gonna get-
that we're going to
I'm gonna be in trouble for having said what I said.
or everyone in this generation, we're like, wow, they were
Yeah.
so close-minded.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's
what
all
I'm saying. That's
when
why,
does it stop?
So I'm progressing. I'm like fast forwarding to 20 years later and saying
Right.
it's okay.
I know you are.
Do your thing.
I know you are.
I don't want to participate in it, but you do your thing.
Yeah, but not for the animals. That's different. Unless you can get animals to be on
animals
the
are
same
different.
intelligence
Okay,
level.
I'm just taking that. The animal
yeah,
thing
take
is
the
an
animal
extreme,
ones. That's different.
but I'm talking about human interaction.
yeah. Okay, but then
siblings.
here's the other argument.
Yeah.
What about a 17-year-old kid or like a 15-year-old and an adult or a 12-year-old and an adult who consents?
the government.
What if at some point? Yeah, it does. But what if at some point it becomes that where it's like, okay, well, who decides how old you are when you can make choices, conscious choices?
Man,
You never know. It could become that.
What
Then
do
you
you
could
think? What do you
know
think?
because we can say I think pedophiles are disgusting. I don't know what age.
Yeah.
Because some people you can consent when you're 17 years old. That's 18, right? You have to be
Right.
to
Depends
be
on
in
the
love and
country.
get married, or okay, well,
Yeah.
let's say 16 to get love or to be married. You would know, like you remember you as a kid. Maybe you
I
weren't
do.
the smartest thing, but like you could also say that about your 20-year-old self or your 30-year-old self. Like maybe your 40-year-old self would be like, my 30-year-old self should have never gotten married. He didn't know better.
Yeah,
Should we make
absolutely.
it illegal for him to get 30-year-olds and under to get married?
marriage is a different thing from.
Well,
in
I
my
mean,
eyes,
that's
but-
my one that you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think.
No, but where do you stand?
Where do you draw the
Because you guys,
I follow the
you got to
law.
stand somewhere, right?
Yeah, I follow the law.
Yeah.
But like I think pedophiles and stuff like that, like I think it's right for it. I don't think it's right to that someone of that age gap.
So what is that age gap for you?
I mean, it's whatever. To me, it's been defined by what's
The
legal,
law, what the
by
law
what's
says.
legal. Yeah.
I agree. I'm in the same boat too.
Right. That's the only reason why, though.
Yeah.
But if you really think about it and break it down, it's like it's already weird if, like, say one is 18, which is legal, and the other one's 50. I
Yeah.
think that's weird.
I think it's weird, but it's
like
existing.
we're offending. We could offend people. Most people, society agrees. That's
Yeah.
probably weird.
Most people would
But
agree.
then you're also like a age discriminationist.
Yeah, because back in the day, I'm pretty sure, like back, like maybe like during Genghis Khan era or something, right? Even further back, I'm sure there were marriages that looked like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if the word pedophilia really. Do you think it existed? I guess the cultural thing. Maybe it was more of a
Religiously,
There was
maybe,
a
yeah.
setup, right? Like what do you call it? Arranged marriages. At a certain point, maybe the parents thought, okay, my child here, my son or daughter, is at the age that I believe that can be and should be married.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're talking about a long time ago, you probably would get married and start being an adult as soon as, like,
13.
yeah,
As soon as you have your period,
yeah,
probably.
Period, exactly, yeah.
When
I
you're
think
fertile.
pedophilia and stuff like that is probably, I would assume, more of a modern term that describes, like, predators.
Right.
Like modern society, like the predators who are
Right.
into this thing behind closed doors, and they try to
Right.
prey on the young.
As opposed to having like an arranged type
yeah,
of situation,
which was common for culture
Ritual,
back then
yeah,
and stuff like that.
makes
but-
sense.
But what I'm saying, and the whole reason why I brought it up is like, isn't
How
it crazy?
far?
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't it crazy to think? And this goes back to like facts, right?
Right.
Like as we know for a fact right now,
Facts.
that's gross to me. I mean, I think so. But we're doing it on camera, and this will live forever. We know that it's disgusting right now to people.
What?
Pedophilia.
Incest or pedophilia? Or
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just saying, isn't it crazy to think that one day it might not be to people?
Yes, it
That's
might
so
not.
Exactly.
That's
Isn't
what
that
I think.
crazy?
That's what I think. You think it won't?
That is so crazy. Most
Right.
people, I would say most people, even people listening,
know.
probably think we're crazy, but like, it's true. If you really think about it,
Yeah.
that many years ago, people thought it was crazy that black people were on the same level as everyone else, even Asians.
That's true. Yeah.
Same thing with especially gay people.
Yeah.
It was illegal, and
Yeah.
now it's legal.
Yeah.
So go back like 100. I don't know my history, but
Yeah.
how many years, and tell them there's gonna be a black president. This slave ancestor is gonna be in charge of all of you guys. I guarantee nobody would believe that.
Yeah.
Nobody would be like,
I
"That's
agree.
disgusting."
I agree. Yeah.
But
So
it's
yours
wrong.
is-
So
you're
what if
saying,
what
like,
if in
yeah.
the future we're saying, "Dan, that pedophile, disgusting. You're sick. You deserve to
But
be
then
shot."
it becomes normal.
And then, right?
Yeah.
This is a scary thing.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that that could happen.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible.
Nothing's impossible.
Because it's happened.
Yeah.
It started off with gays, like
Yeah.
being okay, like being, homophobia was a big deal. It was like wrong to be homophobic. Like
Right.
it wasn't, and then it slowly. We saw the change growing up
Yeah.
in school. I don't know about you, but for me in Hawaii,
yeah.
like you could say the FAG, you could say that.
Yeah.
Because I even said in a video back then, and nobody blinked about it.
Actually, when I even said that word, back,
doesn't
back
bother-
in junior high.
Yeah.
Like
It wasn't bad.
it wasn't. It, didn't
It was
even,
a
I didn't
curse
even.
word.
I didn't even tie that with the
Me
gay
neither,
community.
yeah.
Actually, I just said it because it was like the
But
same
then
word
it
as saying,
became
and then
attached
it became
and
attached to
banned.
it,
Yeah.
and then I stopped saying it.
Exactly, yeah. Because we're following the rules.
Yeah, society,
Right.
societal
'Cause they-
rules.
yeah. But like even now, like just seeing the progression of like I guess the most recent one in our lifetime, our generation,
LGBTA.
is the LGBT like thing. But it wasn't
Transgender.
LGBT. It was just gay and lesbians.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now
And
it's
then
LGBT.
after that, and when that movement started happening, then transgenders, and that's happening right now.
Right.
I think in I'm talking like large phases.
yeah, it's becoming a very normal and modern thing.
And then there's
for
people fighting back. There's always gonna be people, especially
Yeah,
older,
yeah.
because it doesn't go with like if when
What they believe,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So at what point does
Yeah.
it become? Not that I'm tying
I'm-
in.
so
I'm
I'm-
not. Let me just say I'm not tying this. Like I'm not saying a pedophile is a gay person.
Yeah. You're
I'm
just
just saying
tying in
hypothetically-
different types of combinations of people.
And yeah, that
yeah.
we looked at as being wrong and disgusting.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was just a weird thought that I
That's
didn't
why
really
I'm.
think about.
That's why for me, when you asked me the incestual thing,
Mm-hmm.
I was like already fast forwarding 20 years later, having seen what happened in the past, and saying, "Yeah, it should be legal."
Yeah.
you know. So
I know.
I'm
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so I'm just putting that hat on, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
but you know what? Actually, now I think about it.
Yeah.
The whole animal thing, bestiality.
yeah,
If you really, we might be digging ourselves a hole, but I'm just gonna say it. If you
We're already
really,
deep in the hole,
really,
so.
yeah, it's fine. The rabbit's doodle hole.
Yeah.
the rabbit hole. Basically,
Rabbit's
if you
butthole.
really, if you really break it down, it can get to a point where people, who's to say it might not get to a point where people are like, okay, this guy can consent, this animal can't consent or can't consent, but who's to say that we don't get to a point where you're like, well, that is animalist. You're being an animal, like an animal. That animal has the right. How do you know it can't make decisions? How do you know that animal doesn't? Are you saying it's like being a feminist? Are you saying like, oh, you're treating this animal as less than you? You think humans are that much superior that animals can't make decisions?
I feel like there's probably a subculture that's already like that.
Yeah, probably.
Some certain
Yeah,
extent.
but what I'm saying is it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
But who knows? It could
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
And in my, I mean, I think it will. I think it will.
You know what? I mean, the way we're going, I don't think it will. I think because there's going to be this. We're still riding this wave of like legalizing and it being accepting of everything. But I think there's going to be a counterculture that
will be like,
that
let's
fights
get back to the rules of the old days.
Yeah, and I think it's starting to already happen.
Because of Trump.
No, not just because of Trump. I think that's a
of
I think it's
Obama.
just
effect of what's happening.
Because of Obama.
of
people-
it going too extreme.
Exactly. I think
Yeah.
that's
'Cause of Hillary.
what's with extremeness.
You're
Bernie
just saying
Sanders.
names.
No, with extremeness comes extremeness.
Right.
Right. There's balance in the
And
world. to
hopefully
everything.
Yeah,
it lands somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Balance?
There's always. I mean, everything in life is a sine and cosine graph.
Yeah. And you know, like if even in the three of us, I'm sure there would be things that, you know, just even on this in this tiny room, like there are things that we would disagree with, and there would have to be that balance in the middle of what we all agree to.
Yeah.
But if we bring in one more person, that balance might that middle point might need to shift over to the left or right or whatever, right? So
Yep.
that's just
That's the president.
human condition.
That's the president.
The present.
That's the influential people of the world. They
Yes.
shift it which way they want.
Yeah.
The majority.
So that's what Apple is in tech.
Yep. Well, that got really deep. We started talking about bestiality.
I agree. Definitely agree.
All right, so that was a nice. that was a great episode. Wow, we went deep.
We went to some faraway places on that one.
Yeah, but you know what? I know that's the kind of. This is what I want this podcast to be.
It's called Off the Pill. None of us took
It's
our
not
pills.
planned.
Yeah.
It's not planned. I like it like this. I know it's better to have things planned, but I don't like planning for one.
Sure.
So, too bad.
And this is honestly stuff that we probably would have talked about in the kitchen
We
like
do
20 minutes later.
Me
Anyways.
and David sometimes,
Yeah.
even though like, it's gonna sound really weird, but we'll be on FaceTime working on like a song or something.
Yeah.
And then we'll end up like looking at my phone. It's like 3 hours later. And I was like, what are we dude? We're not even working on the song.
What did we talk about?
And it's usually really weird things like
It's the
this.
same thing we just talked about. We talk about incest all the time. No, just
No,
kidding.
we
Just
don't.
kidding. Just kidding,
No, we
guys.
don't. This is actually the first time we talked about this.
I think it is the first time.
Yeah. Which
But
is
we have
why
a lot of other things we talked about
Yeah.
that we should probably bring up another time.
It always starts with, what do you think about blah, 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 blah? Or what do you think blah, 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 blah? And then it's like, goes
true.
on forever.
That's
Yeah.
called ADD. That's called off the pill.
Yep.
That's an ADHD moment.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you guys for tuning into another Off the Pill podcast. We'll talk to you on the next
And you can hear this podcast on all platforms
All
that
platforms.
podcasts exist in.
There actually might be more the next time you listen to this again because there might be another platform.
Yeah. Make sure you follow Ryan Higa at
That's just
notryanhiga.com.
what? No, it's not.
That's not your website.
Well, find David at David's
David-
Choice.
Not
David's
Ryan
Choice.
Higa at Instagram.com.
Find David Choi at queenofgranis.com. Just a different artist. Anyway, we're going on too long.
Yeah.
Thanks, David.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, David, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And we will do our outro. Ready?
Yep.
In 3, 2, 1. I can't wait to get. What if we give people the tingles right now? How dope would that be? Ew! What was that? How'd you do that? Dude, that sounds like a little pigeon. All right, that's done.
Bye, guys.
Bye.